For me, I'm definitely guilty of not having everything in balance. But something that helps is trying to stay consistent to a schedule talaga. Create specific days, times na ito lang yung gagawin ko, ganyan, where I can focus. Kasi if you focus on everything all at once, talagang either ma-overwhelm ka or mababurn out.
Welcome to Kaka Computer, where tech meets wit and wisdom. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about beauty and brains, IT na influencer. And with these speakers I have here for today, I'm actually also curious to learn from these beautiful ladies on how they would define influencer.
For me, so let me introduce myself first. I'm Jasmyn Japag. So for me, an influencer is someone who can lead, like someone who can influence others. Like, let's say, in order to be an influencer, you have to know your stuff. And you have to be able to break it down into pieces for other people. So when you succeeded to do that, you can influence them na, oh, that's really inspiring. That's kind of something I can do. So, like, in something in them, like, you can inspire them. So, yeah.
Okay, so hi po, I'm Jules. And for me naman, I think an influencer would be someone na not necessarily extroverted, but someone who is very good at something and people find them magnetic
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah, this gives us a better or specific information because sometimes people might correlate influencer and content creators. But with that being said, what do you think is the skills and qualities needed to define someone who is a successful influencer?
For me, I think in order for you to be like a successful influencer, you need to have a credibility. You need to be reliable, and also you need to have the consistency. Because if you have the consistency, you can gather your audience. You can actually build a community, which is really big in our tech. So once you are able to do that steps, you can actually like move yourself forward. You can world dominate. Like I
Yeah,
swear.
definitely practice what you preach.
Uh-huh.
No?
And for me naman, I don't think you have to create quality content agad. Kasi a lot of people in tech who are tech influencers didn't start as content creators. Parang accidentally lang nag-create na silang content and then they built a following. So not necessarily curating quality contents, but be reliable and consistent enough that people will listen to you and that people will find your content catchy.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned that because a personal experience is being an influencer in the tech space is something that I was not expecting. So I have my platform since 2013, so it's like 12 years ago. But I really started creating tech content in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was not envisioning my YouTube channel to be something as a to be able to create a community in the tech field. I was just my first YouTube video was teach me how to doggy when I was in elementary. So I definitely agree with someone who has personally experienced it that there's great opportunities like being an influencer even though you didn't see yourself becoming one because I like how the Filipino tech community is really supportive of everyone's success and empowerment regardless of your gender. And I think love how women specifically are also being empowered to be known with their successes. So I like how we're able to start that initiative. Speaking of IT professionals and for women as well, what have you been observing when it comes to balancing everything, especially as students and IT professionals? How would we be able to balance as someone who also inspires or is wants to start creating content and also having that engagement retention in social media?
For me, I'm definitely guilty of not having everything in balance. But something that helps is trying to stay consistent to a schedule talaga. create specific days, times na ito lang yung gagawin ko, ganyan, where I can focus. Kasi if you focus on everything all at once, talagang either ma-overwhelm ka or mababurn out. And especially ngayon, in this era na ang bilis-bilis ng pace ng everything. So, kailangan mo talaga ng specific times. As I said sa previous ko na episode, calendar. Stick to a calendar talaga. How about you?
For me, kasi maybe this is like a hot take, pero kasi yung iba, like, they're like a Notion, mahilig sila sa Notion. But the thing is, when I use Notion, mas nag-ano ko sa aesthetics, yung mga pictures, yung, designan ko pa yan. And it's like very time-consuming for me. So, what I found effective, like, in order to be productive and to keep myself in track, is that, like, just simple. Like, you can just write it. Or sa notes app mo lang, para wala nang, like, unnecessary stuff. And then, siguro one thing I do then is, like, I categorize it from, like, the urgency, tapos the deadline. Kasi, in this busy world, especially, like, in content creation, the school, the work, like, all the jazz, it's really hard for you to keep up if you don't really schedule or keep yourself in track.
Yeah, definitely with also doing different creative ways when it comes to time management is also what I also want to point out and highlight is for content creators, we are so attuned to, we need to create content. Kailangan every month kasi kapag hindi ako consistent, bababa yung following ko or bababa yung engagement ko. I think whenever people reach out to me and ask me kung how would I be able to be consistent in creating content, I always tell them, is this type of content that you want to put out something that you're really passionate about, something that you want? Because I do not want content creators in the tech field to be producing content pero hindi na siya nagiging substantial or valuable for them personally. That would potentially lead to burnt out and they would lost interest in creating content. So aside from sharing the knowledge and the value to other people through content creation, also consider you have to always put yourself first then in a way na something that would also help you be motivated and passionate when creating content.
Yeah, because like for me, like, let's say, it's like similar to, like, meet your heroes. Kasi, diba, like they're always saying na don't meet your heroes kasi you're gonna be disappointed. But, like, for me, in my take, like, especially, like, let's say we're an influencer, right? So, when they meet us, the people, like, learn na, hindi pala ganito talaga. Like, there's, like, a different mass na parang nakakapagod pala to. It's tiring. It's, like, so much schedule. Kasi iniisip nila na, ay, sobrang perfect. Ay, ang bilis. Pero, like, when they meet us, like, when they meet their, like, heroes, parang naano nila na, I relate to her. Na parang, nahirapan din ako. So, one thing, like, being an influencer is just having empathy din talaga. Like, parang, sinasabi mo na sa iba na parang, beginner din sila. So, I really have to, like, know my audience. Parang cater to them as well then.
Actually, very different yung experience ko with influencing. Kasi for us, me and my friends, it was just a college hobby. Something to pass the time. Kunwari, in between classes, punta kami ng events, ganyan. And it wasn't really techy nung starting. Kasi if you notice right now sa social media, super laki ng industry ng influencing and content creation in terms of marketing products and beauty brands, ganyan. So, puro ganun yung engagements namin dati. And the only, parang, kaya lang ko napunta sa computer kasi I'm a tech student. So, parang somehow, I have to find a way to put my passion in something that I did for pastime na side hustle together. Kasi gano'n talaga, parang you just find a way to make something that you're passionate about and make it into something meaningful, impactful. Ganun.
Yeah, definitely. We've been giving our personal experiences with how we started influencing as well as the challenges that we encountered along the way. What do you ladies think about the opportunities naman that you were not expecting that are very unique to your encounter during your journey as an influencer?
For me, ang biggest opportunity siguro na at my plate right now is organizing events. Hindi ko in-expect yung mundo na pag-organize, especially sa cloud clubs and user groups. Hindi siya something that inisip ko growing up, na ito yung gusto kong gawin, or hindi rin siya something na inisip ko na, kaya pala, ganun pala yung mag-organize ng events. Akala ko parang magic lang na na-organize yung events. Ngayon, nakikita ko na yung parang struggles, ang dadaanan ko na yung hirap. And yun, masasabi ko na sa tech influencers, it's not something na at the moment lang. Parang malaki yung work na pinuput out sa 60 seconds na video.
White Cloak Technologies is a custom software development company. They build mobile and web applications. They work with leading brands in banking and real estate. Visit their website at www.whitecloak.com to know more.
Ganun.
Yeah.
Kasi like sa 60-second video, you have to be like precise and relevant talaga. Kasi lalo na ako na parang sobrang short na attention span ko. I was like, oh, you didn't hook me up in the 3 minutes. I was like, skip. So, it's really important talaga yung sinasabi nila sa dapat may hook ka talaga kasi it's really
Yes.
important.
They do say that the first 7 seconds is what will be your first impression of someone. So that's why it's always important sa first 7 seconds pa lang you'd be able to make a really great hook to entice the people to watch you. And with that, what I like about the community, because I started joining the Filipino tech community when I was a third year computer science student back in 2020. And for the past 5 years, I've definitely seen a growth of not only being able to grow our specific communities in tech or programming, but as well as people. I've been seeing their passion in producing more content. And with that rise of tech influencers, what do you think how is it with these people who are known in the tech space on different platforms like TikTok and Facebook and Reddit, even Discord? How do they change their way of technical information kung paano na disseminate and perceive based on your observations as someone being in that point of view as an influencer at the same time?
For us, definitely, ang laki ng change watching tech influencers sa Facebook. Kasi dati puro memes, di ba? And somehow ngayon, yung memes, mayroon na siyang parang tech-related.
Yeah, mayroon na
So
siya
for
tech.
us, with my friends, sa school, sa classmates, ang laki na ng change na meron na kayong nare-relatean ng mga memes, ng mga skits, ganyan. For example, sa group works, ganyan, sa mga error, ganun.
Yung like, alam mo yung mga meme na parang 6 a.m. nagde-debug pa rin and all. Pero like, what's amazing about the influencers is that they have the hook. Like, like what Julian said is like, they're really magnetic. And I think that's one of the factors why they can disseminate information really effectively.
Yeah, they're really creative and very witty. Do you ladies have anything else to add when it comes to any advice that you can give to our influencers who wants to also start content creation as well?
Maybe sa akin, start small. You don't really have to like, yung first mo is viral na agad. You
Yeah,
don't have to
definitely.
be that. Kasi I know you're gonna be comparing yourself to like the big time influencers na, hala, 100K na sila. Pero like, don't compare yung 100K nila. It's like, ikaw starting ka pa lang. Like, you should compare accordingly. Like, use the comparison as like a thing for you to improve yourself. Like, compare your beginner to their beginner self. What do they do? What did they, parang SWOT analysis po siya, ganon.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Para matuto ka. Kasi, yun nga, sa sinabi natin kanina, it's about building content. It's about the consistency, the credibility, and the community din na mabibuild mo as far as you go.
Yeah, and to add to your point too, I also agree that everyone starts at the beginning. At the end of the day, they'd be able to reach that number of subscribers because over time they've been doing some different strategies to be able to grow their community.
So I wanted to talk then about beauty sa tech space. So for me kasi, when I started joining tech communities, tech events, I didn't have much technical skills to parang say for myself, ganun, to share. Hindi ako makasabay. So for a while, I thought, sabi ko, bakit kaya ako ini-invite, inaaya, kinakausap? Sabi ko, ganun. Ganito ko siguro. I thought na it was about my beauty or my looks. Pero I think Jazz thinks naman sa personality. So something to think about for me naman nun is I felt I had this imposter syndrome na I wasn't credible enough. Why would people listen to me? Why would people talk to me? So it was a process talaga na I had to unlearn that comments to myself na you're not worth listening to. Ganon. You're just pretty. Ganon yung idea ko nun. So, siguro something that people can relate to as well is that big imposter syndrome na, hala, baka hindi ako magaling enough. Hala, baka hindi ako pretty enough to create content. It's not about that. Just stay consistent, keep creating. And something I can add sa dulo kanina while Jas was giving advice is to find your why. So, bakit ka ba kasi nagka-create talaga? Ano ba yung gusto mong impact? Ano ba yung gusto mong value na i-bring?
Yeah, I think we do have this saying, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and definitely everyone is beautiful for our listeners. So that definitely beauty is something that could be of an advantage when it comes to immersing yourself or being visible and being an influencer as well. But at the same time, also take into current consideration that if you know for a fact or for yourself that you are someone who is beautiful or attractive, is that use it with good intentions. Do not use it to a point na, oh, maganda ako, so kahit anong pasukan ko, dahil gagamitin ko yung kagandahan ko, okay na gano'n. I'll just get, one thing when I was starting as a student in the tech communities is that people only attend seminars or events because there's free stuff, there's free food, and that's
Guilty.
yun yung, it's a good thing to have as an additional thing, but yung at the end of the day, everything it's about giving value, not also getting give and take. But when it comes to beauty in influencers, is that this is our good way of being able to add. Yun nga yung concern in the start of this episode is how we're gonna retain the attention span of the audience. So that is something that you also can consider on one of the creative ways is to use that beauty that you have to be able to engage your audiences further.
Yeah, one thing I like to add lang din is like when you said ni Jules na parang ganda lang, walang technical skills. I think one of the misconceptions talaga sa tech is like dapat code lang. But what people don't know is siguro hindi sila na-influence enough ng mga influencers is like there's a lot, it's a big market sa tech. You can be in business tech, design tech, like everything. It's like so weird na parang nababox tayo like coding, tech. Like
Yeah.
you have to like code. When it matters lang talaga is you to be really authentic. Like know your people. Like dapat may people skills ka. Like how to bond with others, to make friends with, like make connections din talaga.
Something I wanted to ask is, did you ever have that dilemma na people won't take me seriously? Kasi I'm a influencer, tech content creator. Baka isipin nila, I'm not good,
Yeah,
ganyan.
it's like lang, no? Parang, ganda ka lang naman, yung ambag mo.
Did you ever have
Sino
that
ka
po,
ba?
ate?
Definitely when I was still a student, but bata pa naman ako. Anyway, when I was starting as a student, because we had this peer mentoring initiative that we did, and of course also to answer your, because you were raising a concern of imposter syndrome, di ba? Parang am I qualified? But that's how I was able to overcome that actually is with the people that we have here in the studio right now with the support of the community. Because when I was starting, of course, definitely I was feeling that imposter syndrome, especially as a student. It is expected. We do not really have the set credentials compared to people in the industry, right? So that's why it's always important to collaborate and engage and to be able to ensure that as people who are sharing the knowledge, we are giving out factual data, verified from verified sources. So to answer your question, I definitely felt that personal experience when I was a student, and how I'm able to overcome that is to get feedback. Feedback is always important as people, especially for those people starting, and also at the same time in the industry as well, so that we already know for ourselves that we do not have much of the qualifications or credentials yet, but at the same time, take this as a learning opportunity for you to be able to see how you can upskill and get that experience and credential as well in the future.
For me naman, what helped me also is to find my allies. Kunyari sa Builders,
Yeah.
ganyan. You have a group of women who are great, who are smart, supporting you, and are there to listen sa'yo, teach you what you don't know. I think it's really great then na to be part of something, to join communities and events. Ganun.
It's,
Make friends.
It's like important kasi yung iba parang ginagamit nila parang, oh, network is my network, ganyan. Pero they forgetting along the way na parang you can build genuine connections in this community talaga.
Yes, and that's how we would define being a tech influencer in the beauty and also at the same time brains category. I hope that you guys have a clarified definition and interaction with our episode for today. We look forward to seeing your feedback in episodes that you want to see more, and thank you for watching, guys.